Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. I didn't realize how blue this sweatshirt was until I sat down on camera and I was like getting ready to push the record button. I was like, oh my God. Like, look, when I turn up the computer, look how blue it gets. I was like, this hoodie is blue. I haven't worn it in a really long time. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Okay, I have lots to talk about. I have a lot of things to talk about today. And I also have lots of show and tell. First of all, as you know, I have a new candle, and I'm going to show you the process of how I start a new candle with the trimming of the wick, and this is actually a perfect candle to do it with because I think the wick is going to be really long. I have a book to show you, and my coffee of the day is the Barney's Santa's White Christmas is what I think it's called. Anyway, I'm trying to pick a different mug for every single day. But the problem is that I have multiples. Like I have like clear glass mugs. I have like the mug that was my mom's favorite that's blue with the sailboat. I have 2 of those. So like the Pendleton ones that it's like red and has stripes on it. I have like those, but I have them in 4 colors. So I have like all these. I thought at first when I started this that it would be really exciting because I had so many different mugs. I have Halloween mugs and I have Christmas mugs, but we'll just wait until Christmas and Halloween for those. So today I was like going through my mugs. I do not remember where I got this mug. Either somebody sent it to me, but I don't think that's the case. There's a meeting that I've spoken at a few times, like shared my story. And when you speak at this meeting, they give you a coffee mug. Like they give you a 12-step coffee mug that has, it says 1 day at a time on it. And then it has a serenity prayer. I believe this is the mug that I got when I spoke. If it's not, somebody sent this to me, but I'm almost positive this is because I think I have like 2 of these in there because I've spoken at that meeting more than once. So anyway, so cheers to some coffee on a Sunday afternoon. Some of you mentioned that you like that I'm trying to use a different mug every day. It's kind of fun to come up with I know it's simple, but it's kind of fun to come up with a different, look through my cabinet and be like, okay, what mug am I going to use today? Second of all, regarding the tripod, you guys are on the old tripod today, and I couldn't figure it out. So the setup that I have, okay, is that the computer is in front of me and it's opened. And so then over here, I have all my stuff around me. But the tripod, it was slanted, and I couldn't figure out what was going on because you're behind, so the computer's right here. So you're behind the computer, right? So I can't see it on the table, down. And I was like, why is it slanted? And I kept on trying to adjust the legs, and the legs were the one time the legs wouldn't fall, they were stuck. And I was like, what is going on? Well, so this is where I put in my memory card, and when I'm not uploading videos and stuff, I take this out because there's just a lot going on here. And so I put it behind the computer, and one leg of the tripod was on. I couldn't figure it out. It took me a good 5 minutes. Finally, I put this down on the computer. I was like, oh, it's stuck on that thing. So that's that. Okay, now let's get to the candle of the day. So I'm trying different candles over here as well. By the way, I do want to say this. So Mare had sent me that mythology candle that was called afternoon tea, and it smells like green tea, and it's fantastic. I think it was Wednesday when Caroline and I went to Trader Joe's. I bought but the mythology candles are $45. They're expensive, and they're small, but the burn time on them, I mean, it's really long. It burnt, I think I burned it for burn it. I think I had it burning for I mean, not consistently, obviously, but every night for 2 or 3 weeks, and it lasted, and it was a small candle. The Trader Joe's one, now that I know these words, so the cold throw, I told you guys the other day, is how the candle, the scent that it throws when you don't have it lit, and the hot throw is the scent that it throws when you have it lit. The cold throw is stronger than the hot throw I'm just using those terms because I think it explains it well. The cold throw is stronger than the hot throw on that candle. It's $9.99. I mean, it's okay. It holds up. I would say out of the other Trader Joe's candles I bought, the ones that come in the little tins, those are 10 times stronger. I'm not that thrown out with that. I wouldn't buy the candle again. It's fine. It's I like that it's wood wick and all that kind of stuff because when I walk by it, you can hear it. It's you can hear it in the other room. But it's comparing that to the mythology candle, it doesn't even hold up at all. If you like a tea smell, the Trader Joe's one obviously was a lot cheaper. It was $9.99 versus $45, but there's almost no scent to it at all when it's burning. And I will say this, I should have brought it in here to show you guys. It's like I'm already halfway done with it, and I've been burning it since Wednesday. So that would not be my recommendation for a candle. Okay, but the candle that I am using today, so the other was last night or the night before, I went through in the kitchen, like we have this little like wood, like on the wood island, we have this like wood tray where we keep like crystals and stuff like that people have sent me, and also like crystals that I get in the Shy Wolf candle box, subscription box. But then somebody, I think, gave Alex like this crystal tree for Christmas one year or something like that. It's this tree made out of crystals, so we have that on there too. But then at any given time, we have like 3 small candles. We used to have a lot more. We'd have like 6 on there, but now we just like keep like 2 or 3. And so I had 2 of the Shy Wolf candles on there. One like burnt was like done the night before, and then the other one was I burn a candle till it's like done. And the other one was done last night. And so I can't remember what I replaced. One of them was just some random candle that I had. I don't think it was a Shy Wolf candle, I can't remember, but the other one was the stuffed French toast from our candle company. Now that would be included in a group of candles from our candle company that do not smell. Like, I don't know that like even holding it up, I was like, that doesn't really smell that well. So these are our own candle company ones, the ones that come in the little jars that I used to love. The banana ones, the banana bread, I think smells fantastic. And the mulled cider smells fantastic too. So this is the very last one I have from my like $100 order that I made. And this one, I don't know that I've ever burnt this one. I mean, if I did, I don't remember it like way back in the day. But this one is called Cozy by the Fire. Oh, it's a triple. So triple means like they have 3 different scents. Oh no, it's not a triple. It's just, this is where it's confusing. They didn't used to do this. So a triple on here is like 3 different colors. And so it'll be like cinnamon, vanilla, and like coconut or something. And they'll like, you know, be 3 different colors, and then it like burns through the cinnamon. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But this, now it describes the scent. So the scent Cozy by the Fire is supposed to be dry wood, maple, and vanilla. Now, when you open these, it has this little plastic thing on top. Do you see this? Like that holds the wick in place. So the wick is like super, super long. So I thought, well, this will be a good excuse to show you guys how I trim the wick. I actually trim my wicks a little bit lower than most people do because I do not like, and I always just like get rid of this right away, the lids of candles. I don't keep the lids of candles. I do not like, do you see how long this wick is? I trim them pretty short because I don't like a long flame. Okay, so I don't remember when I opened these if I reviewed the scents. The cold throw is not super strong, and it's kind of cinnamon. It smells like, it reminds me of one of those baskets you keep by the fireplace that has like the cinnamon pine cones. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I always see them at Fresh Time at Christmas, which is weird because it says maple and vanilla. Maybe that's the maple smell? It smells like cinnamon though. So let's try this candle today. So this is a wick trimmer, which I absolutely live for these things. I have like 3 of them, which I never used these back in the day. I just started using them a couple years ago. So what you do is they're just like scissors, but you go down, and I like probably go about 1/4 of an inch. I trim them really short, so I'll show you. Actually, this one's a little bit longer than what I usually do. So this is the wick that here you can see that I trimmed off. I actually kind of went a little bit longer than I usually do, so I'm gonna go a little bit shorter because I don't like a long wick at all. And then obviously this is like, you know, I don't mean to talk down to anybody, but like when the candle burns, the wick of course gets longer. So then the next day, I trim my candles like every day. I like them low, so I'll show you. So then the candle, you can't really see underneath here, but because of the light, but well, then it's like, oh, now I can kind of smell the dry wood. I mean, not because it's lit, but, oh, I do smell it. Yeah, it is kind of giving me fireplace a little bit. Well, we'll see how that one works. So anyway, I'm excited about that. But then the other show and tell that I want to show you, I actually looked this up on the way home when Alex and I were on the way home because we just got back from his mom's house. So on the way home, I was like, I have to look. I've been meaning to do this for the last couple days, to look up the Pia unboxing that I did on my Peter Does Stuff channel to find out who sent me the books, the fantastic books. And it was Teresa. Teresa watches the vlog too. Teresa, I mentioned this and I kept on saying, like, tell me who sent me the books. I don't think you've commented that you sent me the books. But anyway, Teresa sent me the books. I went back and I looked. And so she sent me the book that's called, I'll tell you who it's by. It would make a fantastic gift. So there's the original book, and then they have the illustrated book that's based on the short movie that I think won an Academy Award for short animated film. The Boy, hold on, I'll tell you. Okay, The Boy, the Mole. Here it is. The book is by Charlie Mackesy, Mackesy. It is so fantastic. I almost, to be honest with you, I almost think I would suggest the book that I was sent, which is the illustrated version based on the animated film. It's like stills from the movie. The story is so fantastic about like getting through life and being kind to people and being kind to yourself, and that we all fall down and then we get back up and we need help from people around us. It's so beautiful. It's so beautifully done. I mean, it's like a children's book, but it's, you know, like when you read children's books and like the sentiment behind it is really for adults. It's that. Like, I don't think like a 5-year-old would really get it. I mean, they would get that. It was like this boy with these 3 animals looking for a home. But I mean, even at the very end, like, I mean, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it's like literally you could sit down and read it in 10 minutes. I mean, it's this boy and he's looking for a home, not his home, like he's lost. He's just looking for a home. So it's just like, do you remember like The Little Prince? It's kind of like that a little bit. It reminds me of that. Like he's just looking for a home. And so they have a lot of discussions about like what is a home? Like what does a home mean? And then at the end of it, he finds this home and he's like saying goodbye to all the animals, like the horse, the fox, and the mole. And he's like, you know, thank you for the journey, and this has all been great. But what basically he realizes is that home is like the people around you. And so then he goes, and like the book ends with him like sleeping like next to the horse and like the, what do you call it? The horse, the fox, and the mole. But there's like just some magic, like there's just amazing moments in it. Like at one point the horse says something about like, he can fly, and they're like, why didn't you tell us that before? And he was like, because I didn't know what you would think. Basically, like, we all have like secret powers, but like we sometimes don't. Like our secret talents, our passion, our weirdness, like we don't share them with other people because we're kind of afraid of what they'll think, even though those are sometimes the things that take us the farthest in life. I mean, there's so many moments in this book. You guys, I have to tell you, it is like one of the most amazing books. It's definitely, Teresa, thank you so much for sending it to me, because this book was not even on my radar. I am definitely going to be giving this book as gifts. I think it's such a great book. So anyway, okay, so I read that book, and then Teresa, I was like, I want to know who sent me this book, because what's weird about this is I'm very picky when it comes to graphic novels. So Wick is like all over the place. I'm very picky when it comes to graphic novels. I like graphic novels that have like the illustrated part is beautiful, but if the story doesn't really match, like, I'm kind of out. Like, in all honesty, like, I bought the Mr. Ballin graphic novel, and I read a little bit here and there, but in all honesty, it's pretty boring. I've watched enough of Mr. Ballin's videos that he has, like, so many, like, really great videos about true crime and stuff like that. The book is boring. The book is, like, these old-timey stories. If you read a lot of graphic novels, you'll know what I'm talking about, because I got it, like, one year I bought, A Christmas Carol as a graphic novel, and it was like this very cheap, like, it looked like a cartoon novel you'd buy at like a dime store. It just was cheap. It's interesting because like they did this like kind of avatar of his face, which looks identical to him. And some of the script, like in between the stories, is very interesting. And like him telling about himself at the beginning is very interesting. But then when you read like the stories, like the first one is about these people that went, I think it was like in Alaska, and they were looking for like gold, and they ended up dying. It's so old-timey and boring. It's like, I could hardly get through it. The book is bad. The book is like not good. So, like, I wouldn't recommend it. And so for me, like the illustrations have to kind of match the story. But if you can't get me with the story, then I'm kind of out. Okay, so I've never heard of this graphic novel before, ever. And I actually looked, Teresa commented on the video, and she said, I always get excited looking for things to send you, which was really sweet, Teresa, thank you. So I've never heard of this graphic novel before. I actually want to look up and see if this person has more graphic novels. And so the graphic novel is called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, okay? And it's by Patrick Horvath and Hassan Atsman Alhu. So it is so good, you guys. And it says, don't murder the locals. This is adorable brown bear and small town serial killer Samantha Strong's cardinal rule. After all, there's a sea of potential victims in the big city just beyond the forest. And when you've worked as hard as Sam to build a cozy life and a thriving business in a community like Woodbrook, surrounded by friendly fellow animal folk and the aroma of cedar trees and fresh apple pies, the last thing you want to do is disturb the peace. So you can imagine Sam's outrage when one of Woodbrook's own meets a grisly, mysterious demise, and you wouldn't blame her for doing anything it takes to hunt down her rival before the body count rises and Sheriff Patterson starts literally barking up the wrong tree because he's a dog. Breakout writer-artist Patrick Horvath presents his twisted hit murder mystery Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, collected in full for the first time. You guys, this is so good. I will tell you right now, it is so effed up. Okay, like this is not for kids. Okay, it is so effed up. So if you like graphic novels, I mean, it's not sweet and innocent. It's about a serial killer that is like, and she's a bear named Samantha, and there's a murder in her town because she only murders in the city. And so then this murder happens in her town, and she's trying to solve it because she thinks they're going to blame her for it. And it's called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. You can see it's a bear dragging a body in the woods. I mean, it is so effed up. Like, let me show you some. Well, like this one part, this pig. What is her name? Her name's Cherry something. I mean, like the mayor says the pig's name is Cherry Gherkins. And she's this pig. I mean, looks like Miss Piggy. I mean, she's like all dressed up and stuff like that. And she's going on. And the sheriff is telling her, he's like, I know you're angry. And she goes, I'm not scared, or that you're scared. She goes, I'm not scared, I'm angry. And then she goes, this whole meeting is a waste of time. It's bullshit. I mean, this book is so fantastic. And then the sheriff sighs, and the mayor goes, Cherry fucking gherkins. You guys, this book is so good. This is totally the kind of graphic novel that I love. And it's all these animals. It's like this, okay, so I don't want to tell you who gets killed, but it's like she's best friends, like her best friend, she's lived in this town forever. Her parents died, Samantha the bear, and they left her this hardware store that she runs. And then she is best friends with, her name's Lola, and she has dementia. And she goes over to her house and she drinks all the time. And then there's this guy in town, and he's constantly losing his glasses. What's his name? Martin. And Martin can't ever find his glasses. Like, the characters in his book, I can't even show you this. I mean, this is where she cuts up her victim. I mean, it shows it in here. I mean, she's got like a hacksaw and stuff. I mean, you guys, this book is like no graphic novel I've ever seen before. I want to look and see, what year did it come out? I guess I could look at that at the beginnings. I want to see if he has any other books out, because this book is so good. What year did it come out? I can't see. Hold on a second. I think I'm starting to need, so my reading glasses are 1.50. I think I'm starting to need 1.75, which will be devastating because I'll have to like get rid of all my glasses. Hold on a second. Okay, came out November 2024. So that must be his first one. Patrick Horvath. Let's look. But if you like, if that thing's, it's up your, it kind of reminds me of Dexter a little bit. Like the Dexter books that I've read, because you know I haven't watched the show. Patrick Horvath books. Let's see what else he's written. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Oh, wait a second. Well, this one says 2017, but then there's like 2020. It's like all, they say Beneath the Trees, Beneath the Trees, Beneath the Trees. Is this like a series? I'm going to on Goodreads. Hold on a second. Here it is, Beneath the Trees. Is it a series? Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, 0.1 through 0.6. Readers also enjoyed The Deviant, Volume 1, Houses of the Unholy. Oh, I might have to go back and look at that. The Deviant. What is The Deviant? Is it a graphic novel? Hannibal meets Silent Night in this pitch black. Oh, this is another, this is two. Oh, it's illustrated by the same guy. As snow falls over Milwaukee in 1972, a blood-stained Santa Claus oh my God. I'm gonna have to, okay, I have to stop looking at this right now, because I'm gonna have to go in here and get these books. Oh, now it's not showing up the books anymore. Oh yeah, there it is, okay. Okay, so then there's, I can't, if I go in and look on Goodreads, it'll take me out of this. So I'm going to go in and order some tonight. I've already ordered a bunch of stuff on Amazon. I ordered Tanya's sobriety gifts, which were supposed to come today. Today, oh, that's the other reason. So this is why I picked this coffee cup in honor of Tanya's sobriety birthday. Today is Tanya's 29th sobriety birthday. Yay! Happy birthday, Tanya Jean. Okay, so I thought we would use the recovery mug that has the Serenity Prayer on it, stuff like that, for Tanya's birthday today. Did I already say that? Anyway, I ordered Tanya's sobriety birthday presents. They did not come. They were supposed to come today. I've ordered some other things. I have other things coming. I ordered, well, a bunch of stuff from Happy Wax. I did a subscription box. This was the other night. I did a subscription box. I think I already told you guys this. I did the subscription box, and then I did a mystery box, which was like $30. You can actually, on Happy Wax, if I like the mystery box, I might do this. They have it's $50. I want to see how many packages you get for $30. Because most of their packages are between like $8.99 and $14.95 on their website. I like to like order, for a while I was just getting stuff off of Amazon, but I like to like go to the website of the place to order that stuff. And then you get discount codes and whatever and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, what was I going to say? So there's one mystery box you can get. Mystery box basically meaning you don't know what scent you're going to get. I haven't really had any Happy Wax scents that I haven't been happy with. happy. So, and I've only got like, I think 3 bags left. I have 2 evergreen and 1 peppermint cocoa or something like that. That's probably my least favorite. I don't dislike it, but it's probably my least favorite. Like white birch, I didn't like at first, but then I really ended up liking it. And then I have all these packets, like the packets, like the ones you get at like Walmart, but I bought them online at Amazon. I have like probably 10 of those, of the Christmas scents that I'm trying to go through before the subscription box comes of the Happy Wax. So I bought the mystery box, but there's one mystery box that you can get on Happy Wax. I know it's expensive, but if it's something that you're interested in, that they also have 10s, not the bags, because the mystery box that I got 10. It comes with like 1 bag and 1 10, or 1 bag and 2 10s or something. So they like these metal 10s, which I think that would be kind of cool. They're a little bit more expensive, but I think you get more of so that the Happy Wax melts are bears. They look like big gummy bears. So I got the 10s. Does anybody buy Happy Wax on a regular basis? Like, I'm very, like, happy with them. I mean, I do. I really like them. If anybody has any other wax melts that you would suggest, but I like the way that they keep, first of all. I don't like the little plastic containers or the cheap ones that you get. I don't think that they hold their scent very long. I think I'm going to like the 10s. Okay, anyway, there's a mystery box you can get if you go to Happy Wax, the website. And obviously, this is not sponsored, and I paid my own money for it. I think I spent like $200. No, because I think I spent more than that. It was like $220 or something like that, because I got the subscription box, which was over $20 anyway, because it's quarterly, and each box was $25 or $75. So, and it was on sale. I think I got it for like, because that would be $300. You know what? Let's just go over there and look really quick right now. Because I wanted to tell you about so the one mystery box that you can get has actually a wax melter in it. It's like cylinder and plastic. It's very modern looking, and I really look at it. It's pulling up right. It pulled up when I started putting in Happy Wax. It came up mystery box, but mystery box of Happy Wax goodies. So the first one that you can get is a mix of 2-ounce wax melt pouches. So I don't know what the mix means. I don't know. It doesn't say on here how many you get. Grab your Happy Wax mystery box today for it doesn't say how many you get. That's the only thing I don't love. The second one, so that's $30. Another that, wait. So box 2 is a mix of Eco 10s and 2-ounce wax melt pouches. Wax melt pouches. I want to see how worth it is. And then box 3 is 1 outlet wax warmer and a mix of Eco 10s and 2-ounce wax melt pouches. Now that one I think is $50. But if you go on here, that you can buy wax melt warmers themselves. They have very cool ones. I like them because you can't put as many bears in them. So they have the mod wax warmers are $44.95. I don't necessarily like the glass one. Are they all glass? No, they have this one that's like kind of like a plastic. That one's $44.95. Then they have mini mod wax warmers are $29.95. Then they have, they have plug-in wax warmers. Does those scare anybody? Does anybody use those? I'm afraid to touch this, but it's kind of, I didn't realize this was the side. Okay, they're outlet plug-in wax. So you plug them into your wall, but then you like put the wax. Why does that scare me? Does that scare anybody else? Does anybody else use those? Oh, signature wax melt warmer. Oh, I like that one. Himalayan salt wax warmers. Oh, those are $60, but that's pretty. Okay, what's the signature one? So I guess you just don't know which one you're gonna get. What does this say? Integrated 3 to 6 9. Oh, that is one of the things I do like with the one that I have. You know what? I need to go just look. Okay, when I do that, I will show the wax melter that I have on Amazon, and then I will link it because people always ask me what that wax melter is. And one of the things I love about the wax melter that I have that looks like a fireplace, I mean, it's cheesy, but it's fun to walk into the kitchen and be like, oh, there's a little fire burning there. I actually haven't opened the other one yet. I keep on saying I'm going to put it over here or somewhere, but I'm kind of thinking about waiting until spring or summer. I don't know why. But anyway, the one thing I like about it, it has a setting on it that's I think it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 hours, or it's 2, 4, 6, or 8 hours. I don't think it's 8 hours. I think it goes up to 4 hours. And I like that. And so it just shuts off when you're done with it. But I always unplug it and all that kind of stuff. No bulb melting. This elegant ceramic wax warmer comes with a printed on design and features a built-in ceramic heater. The Happy Wax difference. I really enjoy these. I think I would like to get one of their wax melters. I might do the mystery. Well, we'll see. I'm not going to get any right now. So, anyway, I've ordered some stuff. This is coming. What else did I order? Oh, when we were at Alex's mom's house. So Nikki told me about, I'll probably review this when it comes, but Nikki saw this on TikTok and then she got it. And it came yesterday, and she cleaned her oven with it, and she's like, okay, so I've seen all these TikTok reviews about it, and I wasn't sure, but she was really excited. She didn't order it on TikTok Shop. She ordered it on Amazon, and she was like, I was really, really excited about this, like, deep cleaner thing, the steam cleaner, and she got it, and she goes, my oven looks brand new. And I was like, well, our shower, like, we need to, like, you know, get, like, soaps, suds and off. She's like, oh, my God, it will take, I said, how long would it take me to clean my whole shower? She was like, 20 or 30 minutes. She's like, it's like a power washer, but you use it, you know, and she was like, and then you just wipe it off. So I ordered that today on Amazon. It is called the Steam Fusion Steam Cleaner, Handheld Pressurized Steam. If you can't see it, but I ordered that. It was $55 on Amazon. By the way, I want to tell you, I also want these. Does anybody bought anything from Mott and Bow, M-O-T-T? I thought it was Matt and Bow forever. Mott and Bow. Has anybody ever bought anything from there? They have these t-shirts that are supposed to, it says, hides belly, confidence booster, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I don't know how I found this guy. I don't know how I didn't find him before, if you want to know the truth. So he's a bookstagrammer. I don't think he has a YouTube channel. I looked. And I don't know if he does anything on TikTok, but mostly he does his Instagram stuff. And his name is Jordy. And on Instagram, it's Jordy. I think he just turned 41. And he's like married. And he and his husband have 2 daughters. And so he is like a bookstagrammer. You guys, last night, just based on his recommendations, he did like a top 10 post of like his top 10 books from 2024. He reads a lot of thrillers, but not all thrillers either. There's some like new fiction in there, but like he rates all of his books on here. I love his reviews. And a lot of the books that he really likes are books that I really like. So I'm like, okay, except for that, he thought How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix was like the greatest book of 20. I was like, no, it wasn't. But if you're like somebody that likes books, I told Nikki today, I was like, you need to follow this guy. He's like, I love his reviews. And his Instagram page is beautiful too. I just like stuff that makes me happy on Instagram. I mean, there's enough to get down about in this world right now that, you know, like the happy stuff makes me happy. So his book is called, or his book club is Jordy's. Oh, Nikki just texted me and asked me how the rest of my brunch was. JORDYS.book.club. And yeah. And I love his Instagram. So, anyway, I ordered, I needed a new toothbrush holder for our bathroom. Because I keep on like putting the one that we have in the washing machine. It's like this clear plastic one. And I was finally like, I just need to get a new one. So I bought for $6.99 on Amazon. I wanted to like kind of look at Target or something like that to see if I would like to have more of like bamboo or wicker stuff, because that's what we have in the bathroom already. I mean, we're going to redo the bathroom in a couple years anyway, but I need a toothbrush holder. Alex has like a stand because he uses like electric toothbrush. So I bought this just like white glass one. It was like $6.99 on Amazon. And then I also bought I bought some like these headband things, like the plastic ones that my friends used to use in high school, which we used to call like jig-jaggedy thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? What's his face from Alex was like laughing at me. The camera stopped. What's his face? Sam, who was married to Britney Spears, wears one on the Traders. So, I got like 2 of those to have in my hair. Alex is like, your hair's too short. I was like, I don't care. I want them for like face masks and stuff like that when I'm washing my face and doing my like face regimen and stuff like that. So I bought 2 of those, and then I can't every time I go to like Target or wherever else, I can't find it. It's the Hims Daily Moisturizing Lotion. I got some of that today online too. Oh, and last night, I bought not 1, but 2 mini tripods. So those will be coming, they should be here by like tomorrow or Tuesday. So really excited about that. Last night, I made my entire list of all of my videos for tomorrow. So, and I haven't, like, do you guys remember I brought this, this calendar planner that was going to make all of my hopes and dreams come true for the year of 2025? Yeah, let me tell you, I haven't even started in this one yet. I do use my other one because I was just in here putting in my, where's it at? I was just in here putting in my appointments in my 2020 book. So I have my appointments. I was just putting my hair appointments in here and some other doctor's appointments and stuff. But then I was like, oh, you haven't even used this yet. So when I get done vlogging today, I'm going to spend some time like organizing my week. So this has in here, I'm going to get very organized tonight. This has in here, you put in what you're grateful for, your great accomplishment today, your to-do list, your top 3 tasks. So I'm going to go through here and do all this and put this in for tonight. And then I've already made my list right here of all my videos that I'm making for tomorrow. So my plan is to hopefully film videos on, I would like to film videos on all of my channels tomorrow. My video, I think I was gonna do a James Patterson haul because I have like 3 pairs of reading glasses out here right now. Why do we need all these? These are the ones I watch my shows with. Let me put these over here, hold on a second. I have bought so many James Patterson books, so I don't know if you can see, I'll point to it. Do you see where the AP is? I don't know if you can see it or not, okay. Do you see where the AP is on the second shelf? The 3rd shelf down is my James Patterson shelf, over there. That's my James Patterson shelf right there. Is that the 3rd shelf? No, I'm pointing to the other side. What side? I want to point to the side that's closest to the fireplace, yeah. Right there, underneath the, do you see? 3rd, that one, that's my James Patterson shelf. Am I pointing to the right one? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I was pointing to the right one. It's right there, that's my James Patterson shelf. But behind that chair, I have a bag of like 6 other James Patterson books. And then in the kitchen, I have all the ones that I bought in the kitchen. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. In the kitchen, what? What's going on? In the kitchen, I have all the ones that I bought at Half Price Books the other day with Caroline, which I had to stop myself because I probably would have bought every James Patterson book they had in there. Oh my God, somebody told me they bought, I don't think they meant the whole James Patterson, like the lot of all of his books, but they bought all the Alex Cross books, I think. I was like, I think they put it in my booktube video that I did. So tomorrow, I think I'm going to do a video talking about like all the books I'm reading, because I keep on adding books that I'm reading. Last night, it was funny because I was telling Alex the other day, I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was on the way to his mom's house today, I was telling him about the books I'm reading. And he was like, how do you, oh my, like, because you know, he's of course so excited. He was joking. He was like, how do you keep all those stories straight? And I was like, well, they're kind of like, okay, see, I always have to be organized. Now I've got all this, like, this junk, this trash. Trash meaning the top of my candle. I was like, the books are so different. So right now, like when I sit down to read, I read this, but I only read like 2 pages at a time. I kind of like with graphic novels, unless I'm like really trying to finish it or I'm really into it, like I just like to read a couple pages at a time because I like to savor my graphic novels. So which I'm probably going to, looking at the Goodreads page right now. I'm probably going to go in and order some more of these kind of ones that are recommended. Because I love to have one graphic novel going at any given time. I was reading the Check Please, which is the hockey players. Well, one of them's now in the NFL. The other one's in college still. I got so bored of the second one. I was like, okay, I'm going to stop this for a while. The Mr. Ballin one, I stopped. And then the Fangirl, I think I'm on the Fangirl manga. I think I'm on the second one. I'm halfway through it in the kitchen. I took them off my Goodreads. So now I am reading this. I am listening to Ugly Beautiful by Alice Feeney. I listened to a little bit of it last night. I have not started Cat and Mouse yet by James Patterson. Okay, so the books I'm reading are What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. I'm going to go in and show the books tomorrow on my BookTube channel and like explain more about them. What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. Dry. Somebody went in and tried to explain to me how to pronounce pear, and I really appreciate it. I know I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but Per Jacobson, whatever his name is, Dry. Somebody said they wanted to read the trilogy. I need to look up that too. Maybe Nikki and I will read the trilogy. And then I'm reading Dry. What We Talk About Love. Oh, The Comfort of Crows. I want to talk about that. I love that book so much. I don't know who it's by, but it was the Reese Witherspoon book. And then last night, I added to it. Every time I go to the basement, because I've always books down the basement that I'm like, save or get rid of, because I've gotten rid of so many. And I have like a stack of like paperbacks that I'm like, I don't know if I want to get rid of them or not. And so years ago, somebody told me they loved the author Nick Cutter, which I guess is not really like his name. I guess his name is Craig something. I looked him up because it said on the back of the book. So anyway, the book that I have is called The Deep. He's famous for writing the book The Troop, and he's been compared, he writes like horror novels, and he's been compared to Stephen King. So I picked up this book, and when I bought it, I thought the chapters were super long, but the chapters are like 3 pages each, and I was like, okay, because I need kind of like that kind of book right now, like the James Patterson's, to kind of get me back into reading, and then hopefully by the summer, if a chapter is 20 or 30 pages long, I'll be like ready, you know, because I'm like reading physical copies again. I still love to listen to audiobooks. It's probably my favorite, but I'm really enjoying sitting down and reading. Like last night, I almost didn't want to watch any TV shows. I just was having so much fun reading. So I brought up that book, The Deep, last night. You guys, I'm like 8 chapters into it already. Like I sat and read like 8 chapters last night. It's really, really good. It's kind of about this like world apocalypse, and everybody they get sick, and then they get this thing called, they call them like the Gits or something like that. It's where you like start forgetting stuff. And at first it's kind of like you forget like something that happened to you when you were 6, and then by the end it's like you forget what a tree is kind of thing. And it's like the world is ending because of this. And it's a scientist and his brother that are like trying to find the solution to it at the bottom of this ocean. But I'm only on the part where he's like, it's his brother who's a veterinarian who is going on this like yacht into the middle of the Pacific. So, yeah, that's what I'm reading. I picked up that book. So I'm now like reading like 8 books at the same time, but I'm having so much fun. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun reading these books. So last night was so fun. We got ready and we went to dinner last night with these other 2 couples that we're friends with. And it's like the couples that we like do. Well, Alex is like really close with the wives. I mean, we're all of us really close now, but it's a couple whose son just turned 1. Their other son, I think, is 4. And we just went to the birthday party last weekend. And so it was them, and then the other couple that were, it's like the 3 couples were all friends. And the other couple we went to dinner with not too long ago. So it was like all 3 of us. And we went to Ocean Prime last night, which is a steakhouse real close to us. I think it's like a national chain. But anyway, it's really a nice restaurant. It was really busy last night. And so, because they were like, will Peter care if we go to a steakhouse? I was like, no, I'll find things there. So we went to the steakhouse, and it was fun. It was really, really fun. We got there at 6:45, and we left there. We didn't get seated until probably like 7. And then we were there until, I don't know what time we got home. Maybe like 9:30. I think we got home, something like that. I actually saw this couple that I'm friends with that I hadn't seen in years and years and years. And like Alex doesn't even know them and stuff like that. And so I was talking to them. The last time that I saw them was like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know them from the casino. I know them from years and years and years ago. We were friends. And And so, but the last time I saw them was at the casino. And they were talking to me because they didn't even know that I did YouTube videos because it had been so long. And I was like, what are you doing? And they were like filming themselves, like doing like filming, like making slot machines or playing slot machines. And so she was like, oh, we want to start like a slot channel because we love the slot channels and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, I like, this was back in the day when I was going there all the time. And I was like, I watched some of the slot channels too. And so her husband's like, yeah, I'm sure we'll never start it. So anyway, I saw them last night and I was like, the last time I saw you was at the casino like a couple years ago. And we were talking and whatever. And they're like, do you go anymore? And I was like, no, I don't really go. And they didn't know, like, didn't know anything about the accident or anything. So last time I would have seen them would have been couple years before that. So I was telling them, and then they were asking me a bunch of questions about that. And then when we were leaving, they were still there because they were sitting like 2 tables over for us. And so when we were leaving, they were still there. And they're like, I said, you guys, because before I had asked them if they still go to the casino, because they used to go to the casino like all over, different casinos. They used to go to like Blue Chip, which is up north, and they would go to, ouch, scratch my nose, Four Winds or whatever. And they're like, I mean, every once in a while we go, if you want to go with us, we'll take you up there. I was like, yeah, I mean, I haven't been to the casino in forever. It's been a while since I've been to the casino. So anyway, they're like, even if we don't go to the casino, let's go out to dinner or something like that. So it was really good seeing them. We had a great time at dinner last night. Alex got a filet, and I can't remember what sides he got. He got macaroni and cheese, but he didn't get the truffle one. I got the truffle mac and cheese. And then he got... do you have your AirPods in or can you hear me? He was like, when he came home, he was like, I go, what are you going to do? And he goes, we were both like falling asleep on the way home. I can't believe that I vlogged this long already because I was like, oh, maybe this will be a real short vlog today. We were like falling asleep at my mother-in-law's house. And I was like, I am so tired. I am so tired. He's like, yeah. And I was like, are you going to go to bed? He's like, I don't know. I'll probably watch something. He's like, but so when we got home, I said, what are you going to do while I'm vlogging? He goes, I'm going to go to sleep for the night. I go, for the night? Are you serious? And he goes, I don't know, maybe. He's like, I'm really tired. He goes, no, I'm not going to sleep for the night. So he's probably got his AirPods on and he's watching something. But anyway, I can't remember what other side he got. Oh, he got mashed potatoes. He got mashed potatoes. And then he got a Caesar salad too. I got the Ocean Prime salad, which was like, it was so good. I don't think I've ever got it. I usually get a wedge with no bacon when we go to a steakhouse. It had like sliced apples, walnuts. It had like gorgonzola cheese or something on it. And it had this like creamy vinaigrette. It was delicious. And then they had the rolls they had were like those like pretzel rolls. They had like a regular thing of bread and then they had like pretzel rolls. It was really, really good. And then a Diet Coke. I feel like I need to talk about the mocktails again because I feel like people were confused about it. So let me just address the mocktail thing really quick. And like I said, I'm real undecided about it. I have no clue what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm making more of a deal out of it than I need to. And maybe I just don't need to. I'm not talking about like, because somebody said, do you mean like when you make mocktails at home? Like, why is my nose itching so bad? Did I trim my beard last time? Sometimes when I trim my beard the next day, it's like it still itches. Somebody was like, do you mean like when you make like seltzer water and like orange juice at home? No, I don't mean that kind of stuff. If I go to somebody's house and they're like, oh, I have a special drink I'm going to make for you. And it's like basically a Shirley Temple and they put, I mean, like that's fine to me. Like that doesn't bother me. Back in the day, I mean, like even like on New Year's or whatever, like, people would want me to like, cheer to New Year's or to like a wedding or whatever. I don't really typically, back in the day, I was a little bit more strict about it than I am now. The only thing that's ever kind of like weirded me out is when people would want me to do like shots of like water. Like they'd be like, oh no, we're all doing shots. You should do like a shot of water. Like that was the only thing I kind of like was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not talking about like the mocktails, like, and I think this is kind of like where the conversation is weird, right? Like, and I think it's a personal decision too, like whatever you do and you do in sobriety. I mean, that's part of what we call taking inventory, right? Like I would never say to somebody like, you shouldn't do that or you should do that. I'm just, this is just my personal experience of what works for me. I'm not talking about like when you go to a restaurant and like they have, like when we've gone to Unico before, like the resort that we go to, like they have, I don't even think they call them mocktails. They'll call them like non-alcoholic drinks. And they'll have one and it'll be like a blueberry fizz and it'll be like blueberries with like some kind of like, pineapple juice and whatever. And it's not really like a mocktail. It's just like a non-alcoholic drink. I've tried those before. I've had those. back in the day, like, I would do, like, a virgin strawberry daiquiri, virgin pina colada. In all honesty, I prefer a Diet Coke, so I don't really do that anymore. But, like, you know, my friends do that are sober. And so the question is, like, how is that any different than this? What I'm talking about, okay, is at the stores now. I'm really talking about the stores. I'm not really talking about restaurants and things like that. I'm talking really about at a store. When you go and it's like, they have like Palomas, or now they have like, they'll have like a gin and tonic or something. I mean, I think that for me, I don't know where I draw the line. See, this is where I don't need to make a move on it until I've made a decision on how I feel about it. I don't think I need to change anything about how I have done things in the past 30 years until I have some firm feeling about it. I actually think I'm going to like talk about it to some other friends of mine and see how they feel about it. People that I really respect. But now you can, like, cans, you can buy, like, Palomas, and you can buy, like, you know, the non-alcoholic beer. And I'm not talking about, like, near beer that has, like, percentage of alcohol. I'm talking about literally, I mean, they've had this for a while now, like, the absolutely non-alcoholic beers and stuff like that. I think it's interesting, the comments that I got from people, and I got people from, like, when I talked about it, like, they had varying different degrees of sobriety, and some people were like, yeah, like, I don't want to, like, risk it because it would send me back. I don't, like, I think this is really an important point to talk about when I'm talking about this. And I mean, if I go the rest of my life and I never have a mocktail, I'm completely fine, right? Like, so I don't want people to think that I'm kind of like consumed with it. I just thought it was an interesting topic to bring up. I did talk to, Tony and I have talked about it. I've talked about it with my sponsor, but it's not like we're having hour-long conversations about it, right? So I'm not like consumed with it. But I mean, I talk about other things, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, if it was something, if I was like obsessively thinking about like something that could possibly make me feel some altered way, like none of the things I'm talking about are going to make me feel any altered. It's basically like drinking a different kind of water, right? Or soda. But if I was obsessively thinking about something that was going to make me feel altered in some kind of way, then I would be worried about it. But I do believe that, and I felt this way for a long time, okay? And I think, I don't know, there's a lot that comes with, you know, long-term sobriety that we don't really talk about. You know, it's like, first of all, like the culture of sobriety has changed through the years. But one of the things is that I really firmly feel, like, and every person that I've talked to with any amount of sobriety that, you know, however they get sober, but if they work a 12-step program specifically really gets this, is if I'm really craving drinking that bad, like I want to get a drink. First of all, a mocktail is not going to do for me what a drink is going to do for me. Like, I don't want a drink. I want to get, like, well, today I don't want anything, but like when I want a drink, like I don't want a drink. I want to get drunk. Like, I want the feeling. Yeah, there were certain things that I drank that I loved. I love the taste of Jack Daniels. I love the taste of beer, but like I wasn't drinking it. I always wished I could drink a beer and just stop at one, right? But like I was always drinking it for the feeling. I was always drinking a Jack and Coke for the feeling. Like I was drinking as fast as I could. I was doing shots of Jack, things like that. It's one of the reasons why I really never drank things. Like, I mean, even Long Island's were like so intoxicating, but like it's one of the reasons why I didn't drink what we would call fruity drinks, because they wouldn't get you where you wanted to go fast enough. So that's one of the reasons why in my vlog yesterday I talked about, like, if I were like in my first, let's say, first to 4 or 5 years sober, I'm just talking about looking back on my sobriety. I can't judge that for somebody else. If I was on my first, where I was at in those first couple years, no, I wouldn't. I think I was so hand to mouth that would be very triggering for me. And so, you know, I've just been so careful about it through the years of like, I don't even like to hold drinks that could possibly look like a drink, because I don't want anybody to like think like, is he drinking again? Is he not? Like, I don't want people that, you know, like have looked up to me because I looked up to other people in sobriety and you know, like even question about it. Like, so I've been so careful about that stuff through the years, and it's like maybe to the point of being too careful about it. I really always believed for a very long time that if I'm craving getting drunk, or I'm craving getting high, or eating a pill or something, there is so much more going on with me that I need to be talking to my sponsor about, bringing to meetings. I need to talk about my support system about, doing inventory on. Me wanting to get drunk is me wanting that feeling. It's not about me wanting that drink, okay? The problem is, and this is where I think a lot of people sometimes are getting stuck in the comment sections, is because when you're at the point, like, where I am and other people are, and you've done so much work on stuff, what you realize is that feeling that you're chasing, that feeling that you want, that idea of chasing the dragon is really like, it's why drugs and alcohol are only mentioned. And I'm only talking about 12-step stuff. However other people get sober, I highly respect that. But I'm just talking about 12-step programs. It's one of the reasons why drugs and alcohol and other, addictive substances and things are only mentioned in the first step of a 12-step program. Because after that, it's about internally what's going on with you. So if I'm chasing or running after that feeling, then that's because there's something missing in me or something that I'm like losing. It's not to say that every once in a while I don't think to myself, damn, like it would be like fun to get drunk or a drink sounds good. But very quickly it's like, yeah, and then what's the payoff for that? The next day you're dealing with, you've lost 30 years of sobriety. Alex doesn't want to be married to you anymore. Your family doesn't want to speak to you anymore. You can't make videos on YouTube because you're drunk all the time. I mean, like my tape runs quick, right? So it's not that feeling that I'm really like running or chasing after or trying to get. So if that were the worry for me, I wouldn't even be having this conversation. The conversation would be like, Peter, what's going on with you that you're not dealing with? You know what I mean? I think that's what's really important. Like when I have friends of mine that, I mean, it's one thing for Tanya and I to be walking down the aisle at a grocery store and being like, oh my God, like we didn't have those when we were, when we were drinking back in the day. It's a different thing to have somebody, when I talk about a craving, I think like it's a confusing conversation to have because it's probably one of the reasons why I get asked so much about how did I deal with cravings in early sobriety. Cravings in early sobriety were very much like, I think this is really what makes the difference between an addict and an alcoholic that you can't really explain. It's like, I can remember thinking, I want to get drunk. It wasn't like I wanted a drink. I very rarely, when I was craving, thought like, I want a drink. Like, oh, a drink sounds fun. A glass of wine at dinner. It's like, that's not what a craving is. A craving was like, I want to fucking get drunk. I want to party. I don't want to think about shit anymore. I don't want to deal with shit. I just want to get drunk. That's dangerous, okay? And what the step I was missing in early sobriety, because I wasn't there yet, was, well, what's going on with me in between that's making me think that, right? That I think that drink or a drug is a solution to that. And so, in early sobriety, I had to do the things that were going to keep me away from that drink. I couldn't have it in my house. I couldn't be around it. I couldn't, it's the idea of you hang around a barbershop long enough, you're going to get your hair cut. I'll be honest with you. If you're 30 years sober and you're actively taking care of yourself, and however you do that, for me, it's working a 12-step program, having sponsorship, being of service, sponsoring other people, working steps, being in therapy. If you're 30 years sober and you're so triggered by going to a bar or people toasting champagne or having a mocktail, if you are so triggered that that's going to set you off, in all honesty, this is what I would say to somebody that is a dear friend of mine. If somebody came to me and said, I'm 30 years sober, I'm doing all this kind of stuff, blah, 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 whatever, and like, I don't think I can go to a bar because I think it's going to be triggering to me. What I would say to them, and what I've had other people say to me at different times in my sobriety is, what's going on with you that you're so triggered? Because at 30 years or 20 years, if you're actively working a program, I mean, our basic text tells us that, like, we will be, that will repel from it like a strong flame. Like there should be no reason why you can go to places where they serve alcohol if there's a reason for you to be there. So, and there's not really any place that you can go in this country anymore, anywhere in the world that doesn't serve alcohol. If you're that put off by it, that you have to shelter yourself off from the world, then for me, my response to myself would be, Peter, you're not really dealing with things if you can't even be around alcohol. If alcohol today, like, when my mom got sober and started working steps and got a sponsor, like, she would sit here today and my mom would tell you that the desire to use was lifted from her. Like, she could be around alcohol, she could be around drunks, she could, like, I mean, I've told stories before about, like, my mom. Oh my God, the tripod fell. Because I was getting this story about my mom. But, like, I think I've told this story on here before, but I can remember my mom, she would, this is very much an attitude of, like, an old-timer kind of attitude. I can remember my mom sponsoring these women, and they would say, like, all this shit had happened, their husbands had left them, blah, 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 whatever, and they were going to drink. And my mom would be like, well, nothing's going to change if you drink. No, I'm drinking. And they were convinced that they were going to drink. And so my mom would say, well, if you're going to drink, like, at least be somewhere safe. And my mom would, it didn't happen a lot, but a couple times I can remember my mom being like, somebody that she was sponsoring would, like, sleep over here on the couch, and my mom would stay up with them all night long, and, like, drink coffee and whatever while they were, like, just pouring out their woes and whatever. And the next day, they would get up and my mom be in the kitchen, making, eggs and bacon and coffee, and she'd be like, So did it change anything? I mean, because that's the idea, right? Like that we think that a drink is going to change anything. The only thing it does is it numbs something. And I think like that idea of like, if I'm at 30 years sober and if I see somebody drink, like it's interesting to me when I get the questions because I appreciate the questions when I get them because I do think that, you know, I kind of go through these periods in my life where like being gay, like I don't feel like it's my job to educate anybody on what being gay is about. But if somebody honestly wants to know authentically and it's going to change their perspective on how they feel about things, like in a positive way, why not? You know, like I'm not opposed to educating somebody. If somebody wants to know about addiction, why not educate somebody from just on my experience if it's going to help somebody see it differently, right? But it's interesting whenever I do like Q&As about addiction and I'll get people and people ask me questions like, does Alex drinking like cause you to want to relapse? Or does Alex drinking like this or does that? If Alex drinking around me set me off so bad that, I mean, I've been with my husband for 16 years. There's a lot of people that get married and divorced 4 times within 5 years, okay? I mean, my husband and I have been together for 16 years. It is a long relation. We've been married for together over 16 years, married for over 13 years. If Alex's drinking bothered me to the point that it was going to trigger me so badly, I would never have stayed with him past a year, let alone 16 years, you know? But if it's something like that, like I cannot even be around alcohol because I'm so set off that I'm going to drink at 20 or 30 years, I think the question I probably need to be asking myself is, what are you not looking at? What are you not working on? What are you not doing? Since I am doing those things and mocktails are interesting to me, then the next question is like, why do you not feel like you can participate in it? Is it just because this is a belief system that you've had all your whole life? And maybe beliefs need to change at some point, whatever. I don't know that it's for me. I don't know that I won't just continue to drink Diet Coke for the rest of my life. I'm kind of, to be honest with you, backburnering the issue, but I brought it up again because some people mentioned it yesterday, but they said, are you talking about like drinks made at home? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like when you go through the grocery store aisle at some grocery stores now. It seems to be more like the Whole Foodie kind of place, the Fresh Time. Like Fresh Time has an entire aisle and they have like the non-alcoholic wine. I don't know why like that and the non-alcoholic beer seems so weird to me. I don't know why, right? Like, that I would go and get like a bottle of non-alcoholic wine. Maybe there's nothing big deal about it. I don't know, it just seems weird to me. It just feels weird to me, you know? I think maybe until it doesn't feel weird to me, I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing. But anyway, no, I'm not talking about like going to a restaurant or somebody doing something nice for you at home, like making a special lemonade. I don't consider that a mocktail. I'm talking about like a mojito or a Paloma or something. And this is where I'm like, and what's the difference between that and like, and somebody said, well, I think like a strawberry daiquiri or, you know, a virgin pina colada or, you know, virgin either way is kind of like a smoothie. I agree. But what's the difference in my head? You know what I mean? And like when Tanya pointed out, like it's very similar to her drinking Diet Coke with no rum. And that's what she used to drink back in the day. I just think it's an interesting conversation. At this point, Tanya and I are neither one of us. I mean, we just laugh about it on the phone. Neither one of us have made the decision to enter the world of mocktails, you know? And like if that changes, I'll let you know. I don't know. It's kind of like curiosity killed the cat a little bit too. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I just kind of wonder about them, you know? So anyway, but I'm definitely like, there's so many things I don't do because, or haven't done in my sobriety that because I really believe that down the road it could risk something in my sobriety. It could get me back, you know? I mean, I believe that I only have a daily reprieve, that whatever. But if I really thought that drinking a mocktail would trigger me so bad that it would get me back to drinking, as a person that has talked so much about recovery and addiction online, like I wouldn't even mention it online if you want to know the truth. Like because I wouldn't want to be sending out a bad message. But I think that it is a conversation, like times are changing. Like, and times are changing in 12-step programs too, you know, like that's why I kind of explained it to the whole Suboxone thing. Like I remember when people started being on Suboxone and saying they were sober, and there were a lot of old timers that were like, you are not sober if you're on, I mean, if you are on Suboxone and you got sober on Suboxone, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because when it was first introduced and people on 12-step programs were coming in, because at that time, to be prescribed on Suboxone, which was doctor prescribed. It wasn't like now they're giving it, people are buying it on the streets. But back then, I mean, you had to like have like 3 drug tests a week, be in a group, you had to go to 12-step meetings. You could a doctor would only dole out like 2 or 3 days. Now you can get like 3 months of it from your doctor. It's completely different. At that time, only certain doctors were prescribing it. The doctor that I worked for when I worked in treatment, he was like one of the only doctors in the Midwest that even could prescribe it, because he had gone, I think there was like 2 or 3 in Indianapolis at the time that did it. They all had to go through a special training. It was called buprenorphine. It was like the generic form of, or the main form of Suboxone. This is Suboxone year 1. Like, I was working in treatment facilities when it came out. Well, I was going to meetings at the same time. And I can remember people in meetings were like, you're not sober if you're on Suboxone because it's a maintenance drug. That attitude has changed greatly. I do not believe that somebody that is on a maintenance drug and is also in a 12-step program is not sober. I believe if you are actively working a 12-step program and you're on Suboxone, I believe you're sober if you believe you're sober. It's not mine to judge that anyway. I have friends of mine that have been on Suboxone for 10 years and they're not abusing it, and they take it exactly as their doctor has prescribed it to them, and they actively work a 12-step program, and they sponsor people, they're a sponsor, they have a home group. I consider them 100% sober just like I am. That's just something that they have to do. I will say that, like, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it when it first came around. So and that's the only reason I compared those two, because obviously Suboxone and mocktails are like apples to oranges. They're 2 completely different things. I mean, Suboxone is, when used appropriately, saving people's lives, as are other maintenance drugs. I mean, any maintenance drug out there, I mean, just from being in 12-step programs, you'll hear, what's the shot? Why can't I remember what the shot's name is now? But like Suboxone, Subutex, what's the shot? Oh God, this is going to drive me crazy now. Vivitrol, is that what it's called? I mean, I've known Antabuse. I've known people that have used on all of them. I've actually known a lot of heroin addicts that have used Suboxone as a way to, like, use dope on the weekends and then get them through the week while they're working so they can maintain work and then use it again on the weekends. I mean, a lot of people, any kind of drug out there, people have learned to manipulate and whatever. Are there people that are using it appropriately and are being successful on it? 100%. Just like there are people out there that are abusing, Oxycontin and oxycodone, there are people out there that are successfully using it and need it for pain management. So it doesn't mean that, like, not everything about it is bad. It's what you do with it. Like, I've always said that. Like, if I'm an addict that smoked a lot of pot, loved smoking pot, right? If you put a pound of marijuana in front of me, is that pound of marijuana bad? No, not at all. It's what I do with it. If I tomorrow am chronically smoking that pound of marijuana to the point where I'm not filming videos, I'm not showing up for my family and friends, I'm not, making good choices in my life, then what I've done with that pot is probably not great, right? Just like if I put, a gallon of, Jack Daniels in front of me, is that gallon of Jack Daniels bad? No, not at all. It's what I choose to do with it. It's my choices, It's why I've said for years and years and years, and I've maintained this. I've always said this. I've never said anything different about this online. I've always said this, that, like the slogan that I so believe in, right? That I was taught, I think, year 1 of being sober. I can't get somebody sober and I can't get them drunk. I'm not responsible for somebody else's sobriety. I'm not responsible for somebody else's relapse, and nobody's responsible for that either. That's something that everybody, I mean, if my husband was on video right now and somebody said in a Q&A, like, if you and Peter got divorced and Peter went to drinking, he'd say, I'm not responsible for that. He's not. I mean, we've had that conversation so many times. I'm not responsible. No matter what somebody else does to me out there, says about me, whoever passes in my life, whatever tragedy I go through, nobody is responsible for my using. I would never put that on somebody else. And nobody that I know that actively works a 12-step program would either. To even suggest that somebody in a 12-step program would say, you are responsible. I mean, that's been sober for a while, okay? I'm not saying that maybe at 30 days you wouldn't go, yeah, if I relapse, it's your fault. But you're so filled with anger and resentment at that point. I'm talking about once you've worked through that stuff. Anybody that would ever even suggest that a person that actively works a 12-step program and has for years and years and years would put that on somebody else is speaking ignorance. I'm just telling you right now. And I've told you what I think about that. When you want to speak ignorance and put that on somebody else in a 12-step program that's an addict or an alcoholic in recovery, you're wishing death on that person. That's what I truly believe. So when you want to speak to that kind of ignorance, what that says is, I don't really care about addicts and alcoholics in general. I'm just going to spew ignorance into the world. And to that I say, either ask an addict and alcoholic what they feel, because any addict or alcoholic that's in a 12-step program will tell you, nobody is responsible for my relapse. nobody is responsible and nobody has power over my recovery. That's my doing with my higher power. Nobody else is, you know? So to even insinuate that is so sick and disgusting that somebody would put that out there in the world like that. You know what I mean? But, you know, I think the idea that I just wanted to talk about this more at length because I don't ever want my audience to worry about me. I don't ever want people to be like, oh, Peter's talking about mocktails. Is he going to go back out there and use? I go through so many checks and balances with my sobriety to the point where, like, literally, like, Tanya sometimes is ringing her head. Like, you need to get out of your head. She said this to me all the time. You need to get out of your head. You think through stuff too much, right? Like, it's just really not that deep. My sponsor says the same thing to me, basically, right? I think things through so much that I just wanted to talk more about it because, you know, it's interesting because I've lived such a Puritan way of recovery since, like, not like I'm a pure person. I'm talking about, like, not really taking over-the-counter stuff. Just how I was brought up. Sure, I've smoked a lot of cigarettes and, you know, used a vape, not a cannabis vape, a nicotine vape, and things like that. You know, drank caffeine, all that kind of stuff. But that was how I was raised in early recovery. I mean, when I got sober, there was, I mean, most of the men and women that I knew smoked 4 to 5 packs a day and probably drank 2 gallons of coffee a day. You know what I mean? The times have changed a lot in what's happening today. You know, there was a period where, like I said, it's not too long ago, younger people, and when I say younger people, I'm talking 35 and younger, were coming in and they were getting sober and they were vaping and drinking energy drinks. That still happens, and people still smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. But the new generation of people getting sober are getting sober, and then they're starting to work out a lot and get really healthy. I admire and respect it, you know? And I think, like, it's really just kind of like this whole, like, lifestyle change thing. And I think with that, I think goes that this new generation of people that are getting sober don't really see anything wrong with once they've done the work. Like, why shouldn't I have a non-alcoholic beer? Or why shouldn't I have, you know, a non-alcoholic, you know, mojito or whatever if that's what it's made for us, and I'm living a sober lifestyle, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But it's generationally, I mean, the other thing is this, you got to remember, right, is that we aren't even 100 years out from 12-step programs being started. I mean, we haven't even had a 100th anniversary of that, right? So, I mean, we're coming up on it, like, you know, in another, you know, 15, 20 years, but we're not there yet. And so, we haven't even, 12-step programs haven't even been around for 100 years. And so, when you talk about generationally how things have happened, you're talking about, like, the first wave of people that got sober. You know, just recently, like, somebody that, like, my sponsor is very dear friends with it. Like, I mean, this person was, like, so connected with, like, the people that, like, originated 12-step programs that, like, I mean, the first wave of people haven't even died yet that came through, you know? I mean, some of them have, a lot of them have, but not all of them have. And so when you talk about that, like how I was raised and how Tanya was raised versus how people are raised now, it's completely apples to oranges. It's completely apples to oranges. I think there are some basic philosophies. I think that's where 12-step programs to this day get a lot of, like, scrutiny. Like, when we talk about, you know, abstinence, there's, you know, is like, we believe in abstinence, you know, abstinence from mood-altering substances, marijuana, drugs, pills, things like that. You know, other 12-step programs will say that alcohol is a drug to them as well. I think that's one of the commonalities of a lot of 12-step programs is the idea of abstinence, which I think non-12-step programs, you know, like California Sober and stuff, they don't necessarily believe in it. Do what works for you. I'm telling you right now, I know this for me, if I started tomorrow in a marijuana maintenance program and I started smoking a little weed here and there, I'd be smoking a lot of weed every single day because I loved it. And probably in my head would be like, well, if you're smoking weed and you're successful at that, then maybe you could take a pill or two here. And then eventually, I don't know, like, that's scary. That thought to me is scary. I don't really even get to the point where I think about other things, you know? So for me, what I know is, and I can only speak for myself, I'm not somebody that can smoke pot successfully. If other people can do it, that's on them. That's their business. I can't. I got to take care of myself. But when you're raised, that idea has worked for me. When you're raised of, like, no over-the-counter medication. I mean, I'm talking about, like, when I get sick, my husband will be like, why don't you take some Dayquil? I'm like, I don't do that. You know that, babe. He'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, I don't take that stuff. Never have, you know? And so, because it was triggering for me when I got sober, you know? And, like, I can remember, you know, abusing that. I was just talking the other day about, what did I call them? I called them White Crosses, and somebody else called them, oh, they called them mini thins. I was like, yeah, that's what they were. I mean, that was the kind of, I mean, I would abuse anything back in the day, you know? So like, because Tanya brought that up the other day, we've always been careful with that kind of stuff. I mean, today, I think there are certain things, like if I felt like I needed it, I would call my sponsor and be like, what do you think about this? There's been some things, you know, through the years I've tried, sleep stuff that, like, she was like, I think that's totally safe, you know, blah, 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 whatever. But then there's a lot of things, like, I've been really, really scared of. Like, I remember when Alex got sick and he took Theraflu and it, like, really, really helped him. And then I got sick and he's like, take Theraflu. I was, like, scared of it. I was like, that's something I think I might really like, you know what I mean? And so I got to be really careful of that stuff. And so then flash forward, you're 30 years sober, you know, and they come out with all these fun drinks that are completely alcohol free. And you think, I mean, when I got sober, they didn't even have, I mean, nobody was talking about mojitos and palomas. I didn't even know, I mean, if you put that on a Jeopardy question, I'd have been like, an island in Hawaii, I wouldn't have even known when it was, you know what I mean? And now it's like, people are drinking them, and I'm kind of like, well, that might be kind of fun to try when they're non-alcoholic. It's not like a paloma is going to send me off to treatment, I don't think. You know, I mean, this is where you get in your head, it's just too much, it's just too much. Anyway, let's get back to the dinner. So last night at dinner, I had a Diet Coke. But I'm trying to think of what my other friends had. So the guy next to me, our friend's husband, he had scallops. He wanted surf and turf, but they didn't have it on the menu, which I thought was kind of weird. So I think she got like, they kind of shared. He got scallops. Maybe he did add a fillet to it. I think he's added a 6-inch, is that what it's called? I don't even know because I don't eat meat. Fillet. The guy next to me, he got a fillet, like Alex. His wife they got a sushi roll to start. Then for dinner, she got a sushi roll, and she got a cup of lobster bisque. What did our friend that was sitting next to Alex get? Well, I can't remember. She and her husband both got desserts. He got butter cake, and she got, I don't remember. And then the guy next to me, because the Devour Indie thing was there. He was the only one that did it, which is like 4 courses, and you pay $55 for it, which is actually a really good deal. I think it ends today. I think it said February 2nd was the last day. But he got it, and then he got carrot cake with his. So anyway, I was full. Oh, what did I get? You might be asking. I got the salad, which was delicious. And then I got the truffle macaroni and cheese. They also had lobster macaroni and cheese. But I got the truffle macaroni and cheese, and I ate probably about half of it. I wasn't super hungry last night. I wasn't super hungry today either. I don't know what's going on with me. But I got the truffle mac and cheese, which is good. I actually like it to be a little... God, my nose is itching so bad. I would actually like it to be a little bit more like my truffle mac and cheese. Anything truffle, like fries or anything, I like to be a very truffle mushroomy, like to the nth degree. Like I love it when it's like very mushroomy, you know what I mean? It was lightly mushroomy. And then I also got, because I was asking the server, I was like, what's your like favorite side? And he was like, asparagus. I think Alex, we both love asparagus, but I don't typically get it at restaurants. I'm like, I can have it in a can at home. I know it's bad. But I was like, I wanted something fun if I was going to a restaurant. I usually, when I go to a steakhouse, I usually get like a wedge with no bacon and then a baked potato. But I was like, not that hungry. So they had Gouda-filled tater tots last night. They had like a little dip that came with them. And I think there was like 8 or 9 probably in the little bowl. And I had like 3 or 4 of them, and then like I had other people at the table try them. I was not that full. I was not that hungry last night. So that was last night. That was fun. And then we got home, and then when we got home, I posted my vlog, and then I called and talked to Tanya, and then Alex went upstairs and was changing. I was like still in my shoes. Or still in my clothes, just my shoes. I wore my Untamed street shoes that are like the sand color. They were so comfortable last night, and they're so cute. I wore those last night, and I wore a white button-down collared shirt with jeans. Alex looked so nice last night. He had a cute little like sweater on that looked like a varsity sweater, like from the 50s, and they had like a white button-down collared shirt on, and he had on jeans, and everybody looked so nice last night. And then he had on these like black Chelsea boots that were really cute. He looked so handsome last night. My husband always looks so handsome. I'm so lucky. My husband's just the sweetest and kindest. He's so sweet. He keeps sweet, prays, and obeys. He's a good sister wife. Anyway, that was a joke, okay, for all you that don't know. Tonight's Sister Wives, so I got to watch Sister Wives tonight, take notes, and do my coverage tomorrow. I'm excited about that, actually. I'm thinking about starting to do some Sister Wives and Real Housewife drama over on my drama channel. I'm actually thinking about, I was talking to my nephews today, and they watch a lot. They don't have TikTok. And so, I was like, you guys don't have TikTok on your, I thought they did. And he was like, no, Carlitos, so they were over at my mother-in-law's today too. And he said, it was so funny how he said it, because he said, so Carlitos is 12 now. And I said, like, what do you watch on YouTube? Who did Sebastian tell me he watches? It was somebody, because I looked him up. I never heard of him before. And he was like some guy that does like gaming commentary, because he plays like Minecraft or whatever. This guy had like million subscribers or whatever. But anyway, I said to Carlitos, I said, who do you watch like TikToks? He's like, no, we don't have TikToks on our phone. And I go, you don't have TikTok on your phone? And he was like, well, no, T.O. Peter, you can't get it now. It's not in the App Store anymore. I go, yes, I know. He was so sweet. And he started laughing. He goes, oh, it's probably something because they know I make videos, you know. I don't think they maybe watch one time or something, you know. But anyway, so I said, like, who do you watch? And he goes, I just watch a lot of shorts. And I said, oh, we had this conversation about TikTok. And I said, well, why don't you have TikTok? And they said, no. They said, he goes, my mom and dad didn't want us to have TikTok. They thought there was inappropriate stuff on there. See? Good. Very good. So I was like, and then he was like, yeah, my mom's got like the settings and everything like on our YouTube channel and stuff like that. So I was like, all right for Liliana. So anyway, but I was like, he goes, yeah, me and my friends, since I guess none of his friends have TikTok, and which kind of surprised me at 12, honestly. But he was like, yeah, none of us have TikTok. He said, so we just watch YouTube Shorts. And I said, do a lot of people your age watch YouTube Shorts? Because well, they have TikTok, they watch TikTok, but if not, they watch YouTube Shorts. And I've seen shorts coming up more and more and more lately, and I was like, you know what? I was like, did my 12-year-old nephew just help me figure out YouTube? Like, maybe I need it, because they push, like, you get the emails like crazy if you make YouTube videos. You should do shorts. You should do shorts. And I always thought shorts are just like TikToks. But then I was talking to my friend last night that wants to do the podcast, and he was like, you need to do shorts on your channel. Just take clips out of your videos. He was like, there's even programs that will tell you, like, what's the best clip. And so I thought, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll even do that on my vlog over here. It's like, just do little clips each day, you know, or like weekly or whatever. So you might see the shorts start to show up. But anyway, so I talked to Tanya and I talked to Nikki last night. And Nikki's like, well, what time are you getting up from your nap? And I go, girl, no. I said, I'm not taking a nap. I'm like wide awake, blah, 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 whatever. I want to watch my shows. I want to read. And so she's like, okay, text me. And so I still have not bought this. I feel like I've bought so much stuff lately. I bought like 3 new hats that are coming. And anyway, I need to buy some more of this Sol de Janeiro because it's gone. Where's the Nivea? That's my neck. I love this one. So I went upstairs and Alex was like, he always like, when he's watching TV, he has like his pillows piled up and he's sitting up like this. When he's looking at TikToks, he's usually laying down. He's kind of like this on his phone. But he was on his side with like the blanket up over me. He's kind of like he was like, because it was cold in our house last night when we got home. And so I said, I'm just going to lay down for like 5 minutes. I was out. I was out. And when I woke up, he was like, I slept till like 12:15 or something like that. I got a good nap in last night. Last night from my nap and also waking up this morning, I felt great. Like, not shaky at all. I felt really, really good. So that's 2 days. So anyway, I think I still need to call, you know, and talk to the doctor tomorrow and stuff like that. But I felt really, really good anxious-wise, anxiety-wise the last 2 days. The battery's been at the halfway mark, so I need to go get another battery in a second, but I will. So anyway, I laid down. I mean, I was out. So got up from my nap, and then I came downstairs, and Nikki had texted me about something that she was like reading. And so I called her, and then I was telling her I was going to read for a little bit and stuff like that. But then I got in, she was like, well, text me when you start watching a show. Because I wasn't like really sure what I was going to start watching. I had some shows to catch up on, but I was like, I really want to start a show, like get into a show. Tanya and Eric were watching The Couple Next Door, which is based on the books by Sherry Lapina. Because as Nikki and I looked up the book yesterday, she's like, I think I read that book. I thought I had read the book, but I hadn't. Nikki had read the book, and Tanya had read the book. So Tanya watched it. Nikki started watching it. She said she watched one episode, and she was like, no, I can't do this. So it came out like in 2022 or 23 or something like that. She was out. So anyway, by the time that I got done reading last night, I think I texted her and said I'm starting to watch the show, and she was like, she didn't respond. She was asleep. So, oh, and then Mel and I were texting a lot last night, too. I talked to Mel right before we went to dinner last night. Caught up a little bit. So I was congratulating her on, you know, doing so well in her working out. I'm so proud of her. She inspires me so much. So anyway, so I read forever last night. I read for like 2.5 hours or something like that. Oh my God, the battery is dying. Let me go get another battery so I can finish up the vlog. Okay, I'm back, and now I'm having problems with this tripod. Okay, there it's set, good. What was I saying? I started something, now I don't remember what I was saying. Something about, well, I read for like, did I say that already? I don't remember. So many thoughts are going through my head. I went in to get a battery in the kitchen, and I was like, this was gonna be a short vlog because I was really, really tired. And now, and I haven't hardly drank any of this coffee. And I'm like, but now I'm kind of awake. I haven't heard him stir at all upstairs, so he must be asleep. Also, I was thinking, this candle, the hot throw is even weaker than the cold throw. There's no scent coming off there at all. And then I was like, do I want to lay down? What do I want to do after this vlog? This was going to be a short vlog. And then I was like, oh, because I was going to read comments today, and I didn't. I was going to do a video called Addressing the Comments. So if you want me to respond to your comments or you have any questions for me, like we'll do like a little Q&A, you can leave the comments in the comment section below, and then I will respond to the comments tomorrow, or the ones that I choose to respond to. I will respond to your comments tomorrow if you leave a comment, question, or whatever. Yeah, if there's a topic you want me to talk about, or a story you want me to tell, or something like that, let me know in the comment section below, and I will address that tomorrow if I remember. If not, tomorrow, Tuesday. Okay, so I got done reading, and then I was like, I have one more episode. My nose is driving me crazy, you guys. I mean, absolutely crazy. I should have blown it while I was, I just should have blown it, blown all the money. I should have blown my nose while I was in between batteries. But anyway, so I was like, I have one episode of Found left. So I watched an episode of Found last night. It was called Missing While, what was the last episode that I watched? It was about the kid who had the foster dad and the biological dad, and he went to go find his adoptive brother. It's good. The last two episodes have been good. The last two episodes have been really, really good. But somebody said it's like the final 4 episodes. We're at the end. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, so I watched Found last night, and then it was getting kind of late, and I was like, okay, but I had to get caught up. I had to get caught up on Elsbeth, Matlock, and then I have 2 episodes of Southern Hospitality, and we still have RuPaul's Drag Race to watch. I don't think we're going to watch it tonight because we're both tired. So we'll probably save that till tomorrow night. So I was like, I really was wanting to watch Elsbeth or Matlock, but like I said, it was getting late. And so I was like, okay, I can watch one. So I watched Elsbeth last night. And it was good. It was about, so Elsbeth just came back this week. Elsbeth this week was about, I can't remember who the guest star was this week. It was somebody, so every week there was a guest star in it. This week's Elsbeth was about this like spa retreat, like this peaceful spa retreat thing. It was good. And then I got done with it, and I was like, it rolled right into Matlock. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll start Matlock, and I'll watch like the first 10 minutes. But I ended up watching the whole rest of the thing. And then I went to bed, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning. But I fell asleep really quick last night. I did. I fell asleep really quick last night. Or this morning. And then we got up today about, well, I set my alarm for like 12:30, and we ended up, like Alex and I both got up about 1 o'clock. And we had to leave her about like 1:35, 1:40. I think we left her about 20 till 2 because we had to get to his mom's house at 2. Oh, so this was the decision last night on the way home. I said to Alex, I said, are we doing brunch and your mom's tomorrow? Because I thought that it was supposed to start at 11 at her house. And he said, and it was just her sister, like Alex's aunt, his grandma, and his cousin. And Preciosa, the dog, was supposed to come too. And he said, no, she said 2 o'clock. And I said, okay, so we're going to do brunch, then go over to your mom's house? Like, I'm confused. He goes, well, let's just go to my mom's house for brunch, and we'll skip brunch tomorrow at Patachou. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So we got up today. I took a shower because I wanted to feel fresh and clean, fresh and clean. I think my dad used to sing that song when I was a kid. Because, or maybe it was like when he give the dogs a bath or something like that. Because I had that song stuck in my head and I was singing it this morning. I was like, fresh and clean, now I feel so fresh and clean. Anyway. But, so, maybe it was like, I don't know, like bath time when I was a kid or something. I feel like it was like the dogs though. Because my dad used to sing these 2 songs. He would sing, I think that was the dogs, like when he would give the dogs a bath. He would say, fresh and clean, now I feel so fresh and clean. I kind of see my dad carrying his dog around the house. It's a little Yorkie. But then he would also sing this song because the dogs had to eat in certain areas of the house. And so you had to put like, oh my God, my dad and my stepmom with their dogs. Okay, you have to like put, this was when Alex and I house sat out there one time. And they had you to put the food like around the table, around the plate. And then when you carry it, they would only eat like in the basement at the like bottom of the steps. And so when you carried the plate, my dad had this written down, like typed out on this book and everything, and then he showed us, you had to sing this song or the dogs would not follow you. I've told this on here before. And the song was called Zones of Eatery. Now we're going to the Zones of Eatery. My dad is so silly. And so you had to sing this song like from the kitchen, and then the dogs would be like following you the whole way to the basement. And the basement at the bottom of the stairs, it couldn't be anywhere in the basement except for right at the bottom of the stairs, I think is where it was. And that was the Zones of Eatery. I think that was when they had 2 little Yorkies that have since passed, and one of them, he would eat at the bottom and she would eat in the dining room, and those were the 2 Zones of Eatery. Oh my God. But anyway, for some reason I was singing that song today. Now I feel so fresh and clean, fresh and clean, fresh and clean. Now, is that from a commercial or something? Am I losing my mind? I don't know. Maybe it's, I'm reading that book, now I'm losing, fresh and clean, now I feel so, I'm gonna have to look this up. Is this like a commercial? Or is that something that, some song, if it's a made up song, my dad made it up. Fresh and clean, now I feel so fresh and clean. It's probably me. It came up as an Outkast song. That's not it. That's not the song. Oh, is that called So Fresh, So Clean? No, that's not what I'm talking about. But what is that one Outkast song that I really, really like? Why can't I think of what that song is called? Famous Outkast song. It came out around the time that my ex and I started dating, because when he started working at this salon, like that was the song the year we all went to Vegas and stuff. Why is it not pulling up any of these songs? Is it not Outkast? Is it the Hey Ya song? I'll know it if I look up the lyrics. My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure. Yeah, what's the part that they sang that I know that we all sang that year? Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. That one, that's what I'm talking about. Are they problematic? I don't know who's problematic anymore. And I'm a drama channel. I don't. Anyway, I should know that. So anyway, okay. So I went to bed, got up this morning, took a shower this morning, 1 o'clock, took a shower, did all that kind of stuff, and got ready, put on this beautiful blue hoodie. There's gonna be my thumbnail, which I won't remember where the time of it is. Anyway, put on this beautiful blue hoodie. And then we went over to his mom's house, my mother-in-law's house, and we got there about, I don't know, it was like 2:15 or something like that, and we stayed there till right before I started vlogging. And it ended up being Alex and myself, his mom, his aunt. His uncle did not come because he didn't think that Alex and I were coming, so he didn't come, so he stayed at home with Preciosa. So Preciosa didn't come over either, which I was pissed about. I said to his aunt, I said, I was promised Preciosa. Where's Preciosa? If I say to Alex Preciosa, I say, am I saying that fine? He's like, yeah. And then when I say to his aunt, I'll say Preciosa, and she's like, yeah. So I don't know how anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyway, so it was his mom, his aunt, his grandma, and his cousin, and they were doing karaoke when we got there. So that was fun. And then Carlos was working today, and Liliana brought the kids over there. And so we all had, like, they made cachapas. I actually didn't have cachapas. I had his mom made, I don't know why, all of a sudden she remembered that I liked these, but she made sweet potato fries. And she had ranch dressing, too, which was so sweet. She made them in the air fryer, not the deep fryer, the air fryer. And so she made me crinkle sweet potato fries, which were so good. And then she had salad, and I had like a little bit of salad and sweet potato fries. I wasn't really that hungry. She had cake and ice cream. I didn't have any of that. Oh, no, I had like a little piece of like, she had this like loaf of like bread, like, you know, you get at the grocery store or whatever. I had like a part of that, but like then she had cake and ice cream. They were all eating ice cream at the end. She's like, you don't want any ice cream? I had a cup of coffee at her house. She made some coffee, vanilla coffee. It reminded me of, oh my God, this reminded me of my mom so much. Because she was like, which cup do you want? So Alex, his grandma, his mom, and I all had coffee. She made a pot of coffee. And so I was like, it was so funny because she was like, you could tell she was like really wanting to have a good time. And so when we got there, did I delete the picture? I took it, anyway. I don't think, if I show it, you guys won't be able to see it. But she had like a tray of Jello shots. It's 2 o'clock on a Sunday. So she comes there and she says to Alex, do you want a Jello shot? He goes, no, Mom, I'm driving. I'm not having Jello shots. And she was like, okay. So she was the only one that had like, she had like 3 Jello shots and she like put them away. She was like, nobody wants Jello shots. And they're like, it's Sunday. We're doing brunch. So anyway, it was so cute. And then she was doing s'mores in the kitchen over the s'more thing for Carlitos and Sebastian. It was really sweet. She was so excited. She wanted to like play games and do all this kind of I think she thought we were staying until 3 o'clock in the morning. It really reminded me of my mom. Oh, but this is what reminded me of my mom. So she made the pot of coffee, and she usually just makes like Folgers or whatever, right? And so I like the coffee, I go, is there something in this coffee? She goes, no, it's flavored. She goes, it's vanilla. It totally reminded my mom with the hazelnut. She goes, it's hazelnut. It totally reminded me of my mom. She's like, it's vanilla coffee. It was like really good vanilla coffee. It was really, really good. So anyway, we sat there for a while. The kids were like flipping through Netflix trying to find something to watch. They're watching like The Simpsons, and they were telling us that there's like 36 seasons and they're on 23 or something like that. I don't know how many seasons, 35, 36 seasons or something. They're watching The Simpsons. But it was really fun. We had a really good time today. Today, you know, I was thinking about this last night. I was like, when I was like done reading and I was watching my shows, last night with dinner, oh, before when the vlog was uploading and stuff, before I started getting ready yesterday, I sat down over there and I read like several chapters out of all my books. Oh, The Comfort of Crows. This is one thing I wanted to say. The Comfort of Crows, she talks in there about the point. Okay, if you're a gardener or you love nature, you'll probably know what I mean. It was so interesting. She went in there and talked about a messy garden bed, and that like when she was younger, she was so into gardening that keeping like a really clean garden was really important to her. But as she got older, that like mice and birds and, you know, all different kinds of animals, like they burrow in there and they like find like things to eat in the winter, like bugs and whatever. And so like if you keep a really clean garden and you cut your garden back and stuff like that, it's actually not good for the environment. It's not, she went this whole thing about it. And about like how she used to have her husband cut back her garden and she doesn't do that anymore. She used to mulch it over and she doesn't. She just lets it kind of like basically be a natural compost. And she just lets stuff grow. And like in the summer, she'll like cut some things back and like she adds things. Not like it's like messy and ugly, but she's like, I just kind of let nature take over the way it's supposed to. She's such a naturalist. It's really cool how she talks about it in the book. But I was like, that's a really interesting concept. Because, you know, I'm always talking about like keeping things neat and whatever. And she's like, in the book, I mean, she doesn't say you shouldn't do it. It's not like a directional book. She tells stories in the book. But she's talking about how it used to be so important to her to keep like a very clean, you know, garden in her walkway. She would like have her husband cut it back and then she would mulch it over for the winter. She's like, I don't do that anymore. She's like, I leave it the way that nature intends it to be through the winter. She was like, because there's little animals that will die if they don't. She talks about she doesn't really feed like the bird feed she keeps out there and the water bath, that's what I was looking for, bird bath. She doesn't really keep, like she keeps those going, but other than that, like with squirrels and stuff like that, she doesn't really feed them unless it's like a really bad winter storm. They live in Tennessee. They're close to Nashville. She's like, I don't really feed them unless it's like a really bad winter storm and they're relying on their human friends to get them through the winter storm. She's like, then I'll throw out some peanuts, and she keeps little snacks for like the squirrels and stuff like that and the other animals. And she's like, it's always fun to watch them like burrow it and take it away and they get really excited about it. And she's like, and then, you know, she's like, but for them it's life or death. It's so interesting how she approaches this book. So anyway, yesterday I read that, but last night when I got done reading, I was getting ready to watch my shows. I was like, I think I was making a cup of tea, and I was like, and the candles were lit in the kitchen, and I just was like, this has been such a perfect day. Like I am, from taking yesterday and today off, basically, other than filming my vlog, and just like being with friends last night, reading, spending time with Alex, taking naps, watching shows. Today was so much fun with family, coming home vlogging. I'm gonna watch some shows tonight and read. Like, it has been such a perfect weekend. It was really, really the weekend that I needed. It's so interesting because just the other day I was talking about self-care, right? And I said self-care isn't like, I think I was talking about this in my Peterson's video. I said it's not necessarily like reading a book, taking a bath. I thought that was what self-care was. I was like, but that's not really what self-care is. I literally just said this in a video. And I said, I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it. But like self-care is really how you treat yourself. And, you know, this weekend, I just think like me, I just think that I needed to like, I don't know, you know, slow my mind down and just, this has been a really good weekend for me. I had so much fun this weekend, just really doing a whole lot of nothing, you know, going out to dinner was fun last night, being with our family today was fun. I just laughed a lot, I smiled a lot, and I just had a lot of moments where I just sat there and just was really, really content. It's been a great weekend, and I'm really excited to come back tomorrow and film a bunch of videos, you know, I'm really excited about it, and I think I needed this weekend to just, you know, I think I needed it. I think just kind of taking it slow, you know, and just slowing down a little bit this weekend has been the self-care that I needed, you know, and all of that, the reading, the spending time with friends and family, the laughing, all of that was part of it, you know. Anyway, I don't know much, but I know I love you. And one more I love you. What if I just did all songs but I love you? We'd be here all night, because there's probably, we should look that up, the most famous love song. What do you think the most famous love song is? My love, there's only you in my life. The most famous love song ever. You always have to put ever. What is it gonna be? Oh, I will always, okay, so the top 50 love songs of all time by Billboard, are they ranked? Let's look and see if they're ranked. Oh, they are ranked. Let's look and see what number 1 is. Should we do it 3, 2, 1 countdown? Okay. Then I'll get off here. Okay. We're down to number 11. I Can't Stop Loving You by Ray Charles. I wouldn't put that on my list. Number 10, Best of My Love, The Emotions. I wouldn't put that on my list. Number 9, I Love Rock and Roll. I love rock and roll. That's number 9 of love songs? No. Number 8, Because I Love You, the Postman song. Let Me Love You by Mario. I don't really think any of these songs. 6, I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. It's interesting because when you Google it, that's the number 1 song that comes up. Hot 100. Oh, because this, so Billboard's ranking them based on the rankings. Number 1 for 14 weeks in 1992. Number 5, Silly Long Love Songs by Wings. Number 1 for 5 weeks. Oh, maybe they're not ranking them. I don't know. But I love that song, Silly Long Songs. Silly Love Songs. I love that song. Number 4, We Found Love by Rihanna and Calvin Harris. I do like that song. Number 3, How Deep Is Your Love? How Deep is by the Bee Gees. Do you guys remember that song? Oh my God, that takes me back to my youth. My mom had the album for Saturday Night Fever. I don't think was that song on it? I don't know. Oh, it was. It says right here. Barry Robin and Maurice Gibb hadn't seen the script for the movie that became Saturday Night Fever when they wrote How Deep Is Your Love. The cover of it was the dance floor. Do you guys remember that? Is for the soundtrack. They weren't even certain that there was a love scene in the film. They intended the song for Yvonne Elliman, but their manager, Robert Stigwood, insisted they record it themselves. Okay, number 2. I'm trying not to peek. I'll Make Love to You, Boys to Men. I don't know that I would say that was number 1 for 14 weeks. I don't know that I would have said that was my number 2 all-time song. What's number 1? This is going to surprise the hell out of me. I already know it. Oh my God! Oh my God, you guys. This is so crazy. I am basically the psychic of the world. Do you want to know what the number 1 song is? Endless Love by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie. Who sang that song when we were looking it up? My love, there's only you in my life. That's probably one of the most weirdest fucking movies in the world, by the way. Have you ever seen that movie? That is a weird movie where the guy like is in love with the girl. Then do you know who it is? He's not the main character, but his friend Tom Cruise. It's on the football team. He tells him that he should set his house on fire, or he comes up with a plan because then he can rescue the girl out of their house. But then it like turns her and her whole family, and they're all a bunch of hippies, and the mom smokes pot and all kind of stuff. Do you remember that movie? Oh my God. And then the soundtrack, they're like talking at the end of the soundtrack. My dad had the soundtrack, and I loved the soundtrack, and I would listen to it. And there's a part where like they play like this real sad music, and then he and the mom are talking because Brooke Shields plays the girl. What was that guy's name that was in that movie? Whatever happened to him? Do you remember him? So, my friend from last night that we want to like have talked about doing the podcast. We were talking about movies last night. He's now off the movie idea. He doesn't want to do the movie idea anymore. But he's going back and watching all these good movies. And so he's watching all like the best movies from the 90s and the 80s, but mostly the 90s already. And so I said, have you seen Teen Witch? And he was like, no, tell me more about it. And his wife was like, you've never seen Teen Witch? And he's like, no. So he was going to go watch it. So he just texted me and he said, oh my God, my nose. Oh, he's still texting me. He just said, Teen Witch has the crazy lady from Poltergeist. No, she wasn't crazy. I loved her so much. Okay, what was I looking at? Oh, Endless Love cast. Did they do a remake of that movie? Martin Hewitt. How old was Brooke Shields in Endless Love? Oh, Shirley Knight played her mom. She was the crazy hippie that smoked pot. Tom Cruise played Billy. Martin Hewitt, where is he today? Do we know? He's 66 years old. He's married to Kirsten. I don't know who that person is. Let's look at his Wikipedia. God, he was so good looking. He's best known for his film debut as David Axelrod in Endless Love, 1981. Career, Endless Love. That's like the only thing he was in. Wait. With 2-day beard, gross, and anachronistic Clark Gable undershirts. Has neither the resources nor the opportunity to convey much about how David... I thought he was good in the movie. What did he do later, though? Anything? Later acting career. I started at the top. My professional acting role was a starring role in the university film. He said I didn't even get a chance to get my feet wet. So after that, it was sort of a downward path. Yellow Beard, 1983. Killer Party, The Falling, Two Moon Junction. Wait. In the latter film, he portrayed Chad, the fiance of Sherilyn Fenn. She was from Twin Peaks, remember? Crime Lords. Okay, life after acting, because he realized that wasn't working for him. Branching out into home inspection to help pay the bills, he opened his company in 1983. Anytime my agent would call and say, we want you to read for this, he says, I go, man, I've got an inspection. As of 2015, Hewitt still owns his home inspection service in San Luis Obispo. That's where like a lot of true crime happens, in case you don't know. If you read true crime shows or true crime books or watch shows that take place in California, that's San Luis Obispo, California is always like, they talk a lot about that. The East Area, Our Person, and the Golden State Killer and all that kind of stuff. I really don't miss it, he says, of his brief Hollywood heyday. You're a liar, Marlo Hampton says. You're a liar. I've got my own company. I live in a great area. I have great kids. I surf every other day. Okay. Some filmmakers, it turned out, thought he would be perfect for a lead role in a movie about drugged out gay prostitutes in West Hollywood. It wasn't for me, he says with a laugh. I politely declined. I wonder what that movie was. He politely declined. What was the movie? Where's he at today? Let's look and see him up today. See what he looks like today. Oh. Is that him today? He is bald today. He looks like he owns the home inspection company. Oh no, he doesn't look anything like he did back. Oh no. I think he looks like the guy that oh, this is interesting. I mean, he doesn't look anything the same as he used to. He looks like who you call if you open it, like if you call for a home inspection, kind of. I mean, I don't know what you would think of, but you know what I'm saying? Brooke Shields. Let's check her out today. What is Brooke Shields' daughter's name? Does she have a daughter? She's 59 years old. Whose daughter am I thinking about? That's always, like, she's on RuPaul's Drag Race. Cindy Crawford. What's her daughter's name? She looks just like her. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Crawford. She's 58 years old. Daughter. Kaya Jordan Gerber. She looks just like her mom. How old is she? She's 23. She's so pretty. Does that, who was I just talking about? Brooke Shields, didn't she have a daughter? Daughter. Greer Hammond Henchy. I don't know who this Henchy person is, but she's got 2 daughters. Brooke's 2 daughters, all about Rowan and Greer. Oh, here they are. Chris Henchy, is that her husband? Brooke Shields' 2 daughters, all about Rowan and Greer. Do they look like her? That's all I want to know. Or am I out on time? Okay. Her daughter kind of looks like she's been in a TV show. How do I know that? Her taller daughter looks like her, but the younger daughter looks like, she in it, like, was she in the show? She wasn't in Original Sin, was she? This is the Rowan one. She's 21. How old is the other daughter? Does it say? 18? She's the one that kind of looks like her a little bit. Is the other daughter an actress? Because she looks familiar to me. It doesn't matter. Brooke Shields is not somebody whose career I've really followed through the years, if you want to know the truth. I think she's, whatever. She's fine. I said something last night to my friend. He said something about some Nicole Kidman movie. I go, I can't really stand Nicole Kidman. He goes, what? And I go... I mean, I like her in her movies. Like, her movies, I like Nicole Kidman's movies, but, like, as like in an interview and stuff like that, oh my god, she's somebody I do not keep up with at all. The Housewives, though, the Housewives are fighting. Did you guys see that? I posted about it on my Instagram today. Okay, I'm gonna get off here so I can relax a little bit. Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. it's after 8 o'clock. Okay, I'm getting off here now. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I hope that you're getting rested, rejuvenated, relaxed, and renewed for the week ahead. I don't remember what I was going to call this video or where my thumbnail was, so I'm just going to do a thumbnail now at the very end so I'll remember. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic beginning to your week. If nobody else has told you this today, like I already said, I love you guys. I got to get off here. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and for Emily, one more I love, and for all of you, one more, 2 more, 3 more, 1 more, 4 more, 1 more. I love you. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.